Good morning, student. We learn in first part diversity in living things and their classification about diversity in plants. Now we have to learn here in the second part need for classification of plant. Up to now, information about lakhs of plants has been collected. While studying the diversity in plants, they are classified for the sake of convenience on the basis of similarities and differences in their structure, their organ, and their characteristics. Now, scientist Carolus Linnaeus made the first scientific classification of plants. Initially, it was his method of classification that was used by all over the world. Now, he is making some diagram or chart for getting the need of classification of plant. Name of the plants first he wrote, then where does the plant grows and occur. Now nature of the stem. Now there are some natures of the stems like a circumference, colors, bark, and hard or soft stem. Now height of the plant, short height, medium height, or very tall height. Now branches having a nature and number of branches, how many in that plants. Now leaves having a color, shape, and edges. Now different types of leaves are there for classification of plant. Now flowers, color of the flowers, fragrance of the flower, and shape of that flower. Nature of fruit. Now fruit having a different shapes, size, and shape, like hardness, softness, and color also, and which part is used of that plant is here we have to learn now. Now classification of plant. We can easily notice the difference in the shape, height of a plant in our surrounding. It is easy to classify the plant on the basis of observation. Now can you see here there are a banana tree, banyan tree, and tamarind tree and coconut tree also. Now what are the similarities between mango and banyan and a tamarind tree? This tree having a big bark and mango having a plant. Mango plant is there, banyan tree is there, and this having a big in a size, not tree. Some plants grow tall. The stem or trunk is hard and strong. They have branches at some height above the ground. They bear flowers and fruits for many years. Now tamarind and mango tree having a flowers and fruits for many years. Such a plants are called trees. Trees are tall, big, and perennial. Perennial means what they live for many years. That is called perennial plant. Now, what are the similarities between hibiscus, oleander, and lantana plants? These are the scientific name of the plants, and we are also knowing these plants. Hibiscus plant, Plantana, and oleander, these plants are called shrubs. Some plants grow close to the ground. They give out branches very close to the ground. They are shorter and smaller than the tree, but they have a thick and hard stem. The oleander, hibiscus, lantana, cornati, and rose are the shrubs that may grow up to the 2 to 3 meter heights. Now, this is like a shrubs plants, and you know that rose plants, I think all everybody knows about the rose plant, and these plants known as a shrubs. Now what are the similarities between fenugreek and periwinkle plants? Herbs. Fenugreek plants, you know that fenugreek means you are using in everyday in your life. Herbs are grow 1 to 1.5 meters tall. The stem of herb are green and quite flexible as compared to those trees and bushes. Herbs may live for few months up to the 2 years. Now herbs, you know that and periwinkle plants, but like that, you know the chili is also having a herb plant. Now according to the size and height of the stem, plants can be classified into three types. What are you learning here? These plants and they are classified into three types like shrubs, trees, and herbs. Have you seen vines like a pumpkin, railroad creeper, kauri, watermelon, or grapevine? How do they grow? Yeah, everybody knows about watermelon and pumpkin and grapes. Now, vines. Some vines need a vertical support for growing, while some others spread on the ground. Crimbus like a money plant have a aerial roots. Now, if you know the climber plant, these having a aerial roots. Have you seen the cucumber tendril that look like a spring like structure? If you want to see, then check this is the spring like structure. Okay, this is called cucumber and tendrils look like a spring. Of what use they be? Touch the stem of any vines, what do you feel? If you touch any vines, you can feel it's very soft and it can be break. The stem of creeper is very flexible, soft and green. It's grow rapidly with the help of support. Now various creepers and climbers are here. There are some plants or example of climbers and creepers. Now for how many years do crops like a bajra, wheat, corn, radish, marigold live? The life cycle of plants like a jar, flower is completed in 1 year. This is a bajra. Okay, and this bajra is having a one this bajra is having a around 1 year life. These plants are called annual plants. The life cycle of annual plants like a carrot, beetroot of 2 years. Therefore, these plants is known as a biennial or they are called biennial plants. Shrubs like a hibiscus and oleander and trees like a mango and a gulmohar live for several years and bear flowers and fruits. They are called perennials. Means what? This gulmohar, mango, oleander, hibiscus, they are having a life cycle more than 2 years and they are always having a per year uh, fruits and flowers. Therefore these plants known as a perennial plants. According to the period of their life cycle, these plants are classified as annual plants, biennial plants and perennial plants. Okay, now next one. To which part of plants are butterflies and insects attract? You know that which part is attracted by butterflies? This part. What we are calling this part? Flowers. Now so, very simple. Plants that bear flowers are called flowering plants, while the plants that never bear flowers are called non flowering plants. Non flowering plants may not have an organ like roots, stems, and leaves. Now, here are some examples where the habitat of plants. We see different plants growing in a different places around us. Now plants can be classified according to their habitat or place where they grow. Land, water, marshy areas, desert and even a big tree are in a various habitat plants. Now if you see here, here is a water and which plant is there? Lotus plant and some underground plants are there. These are the water plants. Then here is the here is which one plant? Desert plant. Desert means cactus and here is the, if you check properly, this plant grow on a land. Means if you check properly, the plant having habitat on a land, water, marshy areas, desert and even a big tree are seen in a various habitats plant. Now you know the land, water, but marshy areas. Marshy areas means like a lotus also having a marshy areas plant and marshy means just like a mud. Now diversity and classification of animals. You know that you learn here in the first part that diversity in animals and plants, but we have to learn classification of animals now. Now different animals have developed different shapes to survive in the environment. There is a great variety in the body structure of animals too. The amoeba cannot be seen with our naked eyes. Means you have to see with the microscope only. Then the huge elephant you can see, the small snail, the fish that swims in water, a kite that flies high in the sky. butterflies that flit around flowers, a house lizard that crawls on the wall are all animals. Each has a different characteristics. If you check everyone, you can make a differentiation in that animals. Now animals have body parts like a head, neck, torso, a tail, and a limb for movement. They have a various organ system which carry on various functions inside their body. In this respect too, there is a lot of diversity in animals. Now what are the differences in the body structure of animals like a snake, a lizard, a tiger, a fish, an eagle, a hen, a crab, a housefly, an earthworm, and crocodile, and a grasshopper? If you check there are some pictures of animals like here is a tiger, a butterfly, a snail, earthworm, then crocodile, housefly is there, fish is there, hen is there. Okay, lots of animals you can see in our surrounding. We see a variety of animals in with respect to their food, as well as since animals depend on others for their food. Now some animals eating their food from plants, and some animals depends on another animals. These are the two different types of food intake by animals. Now different animals have a different method of obtaining and eating food. These two leads different in their body structure. If you make the different of animals, then you can make the chart like that. What is their food, how do they eat it, where do they live, and the special feature that you found in that animal. Now take a drop of water from puddle and place it on a glass slide. First of all, we can make this practical in our class or laboratory, which is under microscope. Observe it under microscope. What do you see when a drop of water from puddle is seen under a microscope? Innumerable microbes can be moving from in it. You will see it's continuously moving amoeba. The paramecium is also unicellular animal like a amoeba. Now there is another one difference in animals like a unicellular and multicellular animals. Uni means only one cell having, it's called unicellular. Only amoeba and paramecium having a one cell. That's why it's called unicellular animal. And multicellular animal we can call this is the multicellular animal, because these also these are multicellular animal. Why this multicellular? Tortoise, horse, bear. Multi means more than one cell in that animal. Because of that, we can call multicellular animal. Now, what is the chain of bones in the center of our back called? Now, if you check your backbone is there, and there is a small chain of bones. This is called vertebrates, and every human being having a vertebrates, and some animals having also vertebrates, and some doesn't have a vertebrates. Animals with a vertebral column and those without it from two groups: vertebrates animal and invertebrates animal. Snake, birds, fish, kangaroos, as also humans are vertebrate animals. And animals such as the snails, cockroaches, earthworms do not have a vertebral column, and therefore they are invertebrate animals. Name of some animals which lay eggs and other which give birth to their young ones. Now, simple one. This is the laying the egg. Okay. Now, these types of animals laying the eggs, and these types of animal giving the young one birth. Okay. Now, this is the two types of different for animals. We have learned that producing another living thing like oneself is called a reproduction. A hen lays eggs and hatches them, and after a few days, the young chicks hatch out of the eggs, and a cow gives a birth to a calf. Before that, the calf grows within the cow's body according to the mode of reproduction. Animals are classified into two types, namely oviparous animals which lay eggs, and viviparous animals. Oviparous animals means what? Which animals laying only eggs. Can you remind the name of this? Only hen is there and some snake are there. They are oviparous animals. And viviparous animals means what? Viviparous, lots of cow, buffalo, human being also viviparous animal. Now, which give birth to their young ones. Where are the animals, namely a horse, a bear, tortoise, and a alligator, a fish, a deer, a frog we found? Now, there is some another one different in animals or diversity in animals. Like according to their habitat, animals are usually classified into terrestrial animals and aquatic animals. What is the meaning of terrestrial? Terrestrial means which animals living on the land. This is cow, then bear, frog, and this is a tortoise. These animals living on a land as well as aquatic. Therefore, terrestrial means which animals living on a land is called terrestrial animals, and aquatic means which animals living in underwater is called aquatic animals. However, animals like a frog, salamander, toad live in both places, namely the land and water. Therefore, they are called amphibious animals. Which are the amphibious animals? You have to remember this: frog, salamander, and toad. These are the amphibious animals. Why they are amphibious? Because they live in a land and water. Okay. Now a kite, an eagle, crow, butterfly, honeybee all fly in the air through they live different places. These animals are said to have an aerial mode of life. What is the aerial mode? Aerial mode means these animals always flying in the sky. A kite, an eagle, crow, butterfly, honeybee. Because of that, they are always flying in the air. We are called aerial animal or aerial mode of life. Now we have to do some homework on that lesson. Just do this and solve the properly with the help of that video. Thank you.